Before we get down to the main business of today, once again, we've got to talk about the great Boris Johnson, another non-story. This past week, a series of events unfolded whereby the COVID inquiry, chaired by Baroness Hallett, demanded the Cabinet Office handed over Boris Johnson's WhatsApp messages from the time period spanning the duration of the pandemic. The Cabinet Office resisted these demands and insisted the inquiry did not have the powers to request, quote, unambiguously irrelevant information that is beyond the scope of this investigation. Meanwhile, Boris himself insisted he had no hesitation over the handing over of the messages. The deadline for the submission was set at 4 o'clock yesterday, but then was moved to Thursday after the Cabinet Office claimed the messages were missing. But as it happens, Boris Johnson has now handed the messages to the Cabinet Office himself and suggested they hand them to the inquiry urgently. So there we are. Unfortunately, the real problem is the inquiry, which is getting bogged down in gossip and trivia. It needs to get on with the task at hand. Otherwise, we will all have died of old age before its report is published. As Harold Wilson once said, the inquiry takes minutes and wastes years. The whole thing seems, as the man himself once said, like one great big inverted pyramid of piffle.